A little while ago, I made a video about the Lord of the Rings Gollum and how its story had affected me. Or at least, that's what I tried to do. But while I think the video turned out okay, it fell short of my intentions for it, failing to explain how the game had affected me and why. So here I'm going to talk honestly about how the Lord of the Rings Gollum gave me a breakdown, but in a good way. The truth is, I watched Never Knows Best's analysis of the game at a particularly challenging time in my life. I had a few things going on with chronic illness and its impacts on my relationship, and I was in a bad place. If you haven't watched the video, go check it out. It's great. But it's also a little sad. Certainly, his telling of Gollum's relationships with an elf who befriends him and a bird he helps raise caused something to well up inside of me. I had to play the game, with a deep, unavoidable compulsion. And sure enough, the game hit me hard, as I watched Gollum's relationships with Mel and Little One blossom and spoil for days and weeks after rolling credits and setting my controller down. So I worked on my Gollum video as a way to ease the feelings, and that helped. And then I took a short break, and that helped some more. And finally, weeks after, I felt settled enough to complete the video, draw a line, and move on with my life. Almost. Just this video to go. The thing is, Gollum has some incredibly strong moments, where the plot and voice acting and exceptional musical score combine to give the events incredible emotional weight. But I don't think it's just these things alone that caused me to have such a strong reaction. As I mentioned, I'd been going through some really difficult things, and faced some significant life decisions that had no easy answers, and it was a very lonely place to be. I'm usually fairly good at managing life's pressures when they begin to accumulate, but this time I'd let them get the better of me. I was aware of this. I could identify that I was dealing with some difficult circumstances, and I could think dispassionately about the effect they were having on me, but I was unable to process them emotionally. Instead, the opposite happened. An emotional detachment and lethargy set in. My perspective became stunted and grey, and I stopped thinking and acting constructively, wallowing instead in a monotonous funk. Gollum provided an outlet. His loneliness stood as a proxy for the loneliness I'd been feeling for a long time. More than that, the way he was the architect of his loneliness felt deeply and sadly relatable. In feeling pity for him, I was able to feel pity for myself, and so the game served as a catalyst for me finally processing the hurt and sadness I'd been holding back. This was not an easy or pain-free experience, but the end result was relief and a more tolerable level of pressure. Not gone, but manageable. I could think clearly again, and had the energy to push my circumstances forward to a better place. I'm pleased to say that I've come to terms with my situation, and I've made decisions that I think are going to enrich my life and make me a better person to the people that I love. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Perhaps acknowledge, possibly confess, I'm not sure. Please feel free to share if you've had a similar experience. I'd welcome hearing from you in the comments below.